Brilliant. I think we'll get started. We'll let more people in as they come, but thank you very much for joining us today. We're here to talk a little bit about navigating sustainable growth, particularly thinking about reviewing the Cornell Hotel Sustainability Benchmarking Index that has just been finalised. So very exciting. So I'll wanted to introduce you to us as your speakers today. So I'm Claire Whiteley. I work for the Sustainable Hospitality Alliance, and I'll talk a little bit more about who we are in a minute. But I'm really here to kind of talk about, I guess, the overall industry perspective and a little bit about the Hotel Carbon Measurement Index. And then we have Rehma here as well from Greenview. If you want to introduce yourself, Rehma.
Hello everyone, I'm Rehma. I'm a senior manager at Greenview. I lead most of the CHSB data work, so happy to walk you over the latest findings of CHSB 2024. Stay tuned and a little bit about Greenview before I start on CHSB.
Brilliant, thanks Rehma. So today, we'll just walk you through the agenda quickly. I'll be talking a little bit about the Sustainable Hospitality Alliance and then sharing some information about how to measure the environmental impacts of hotels before I hand over to Rehma to give an introduction to Greenview, talk about the Cornell Hotel Sustainability Benchmark Index and share some key findings from CHSB 2024. So first up, Sustainable Hospitality Alliance, who are we? We have come together to try and help the industry to respond to the challenges and become more sustainable. We bring together companies from across the industry, including the likes of Hilton, Marriott, Hyatt, all the sort of the big hotel company names, all the way through regional brands such as Deutsche, Dorint, ITC, and then right down to our smallest member who has just one individual hotel. And we're really here to work with the industry. So we work with the sustainability and ESG managers all the way up to the CSOs and the CEOs within those companies to understand what the challenges are in the industry in terms of becoming more sustainable. We gather best practices and then create lots of free resources and tools that we put out to support the whole of the industry to become more sustainable. We currently cover 7 million rooms, which is about 40% of the industry by rooms. And we're also working with other types of organisation across the industry to really kind of collaborate and galvanise the efforts to become more sustainable. And we cover off, as well as environmental sustainability, we also talk about social sustainability. And our key ethos is really around net positive hospitality, which is looking at being there for the people in our hotels and in our communities, the planet that we rely very much on for resources and to entice our guests. The places in which we're operating, so particularly thinking about the communities and the environments around us, and then finally for the profitability, both of our own organisations within the industry, but the profitability of the communities around us as well as kind of a key stakeholder within the industry. One of the key things that we've done as an alliance is really that we've seen that sustainability is becoming increasingly more important. We've seen that 89% of global business travel industry says that it's a priority for them, with 55% of corporate companies measuring the impacts of business travel. However, 63% were saying that there's a lack of data and transparent information. So all of that is really why we came together as an industry. And back in 2012, we created the Hotel Carbon Measurement Initiative. We brought together 23 global hospitality companies, and as well as some key partners, including the World Travel and Tourism Council, Greenview, and KPMG. And we've had more and more companies kind of join us in creating and enhancing the hotel carbon measurement initiative over the years. We've had an update that happened in 2022, and then we're just about to go into another update this year. So what is the Hotel Carbon Measurement Initiative? Basically, it's a methodology which enables the carbon footprint of hotel stays and meetings to be calculated in a consistent and transparent way. It's Greenhouse Gas Protocol and ISO 14064 aligned, and it takes into account Scope 1 emissions, Scope 2 emissions, and then a small portion of Scope 3, which is the outsourced laundry. This is really to ensure its comparability. And it enables hotels to calculate their total carbon footprint, their footprint per occupied room, footprint per area of meeting space, and renewable energy and electricity. Sorry, I've got a bit of a tickle today. So that's what it's really there for. And there is a methodology that can be incorporated into any platform, any reporting platform. But there's also a tool that's available for people to be able to use if they don't have their own reporting platform. It's been recognised as being in support of the Glasgow Declaration. UN Tourism has recognised it as being the most widely used methodology in the industry. It's been supported by various industry leading organisations such as GSTC, WTTC, AHLA and GBTA as well, and obviously Greenview and the Cornell Hotel Sustainability Benchmark. This year, as I mentioned, we'll be going into an update of the methodology. We're looking at some of the parked issues that we have, such as how to calculate floor area in a consistent way, as well as improving how we look at outsourced laundry and refining how we look at refrigerants. Alongside this, we'll be looking at Scope 3 and how we can tackle that a bit more efficiently as an industry, looking at how we can define carbon neutral hotel stays and then further aligning with the Greenhouse Gas Protocol. Alongside the Hotel Carbon Measurement Initiative, we have the Hotel Water Measurement Initiative, which was created a few years later and kind of does the same thing for water. So it enables hotels to calculate things like the total water footprint, the footprint per occupied room, and the footprint per area of meeting space. This has been recognised by the UN as well. So the UN Development Programme used it in some of their work and recognised it as a great tool that can really support people to use less water within the industry. And finally, there's the hotel waste measurement methodology, which was created by WWF US and Greenview and was supported by an industry work group, which included several of our members, and we supported it as well. And this really enables hotels to calculate and provide their total waste footprint, including total food waste including food waste per square metre, and then also a diversion rate of waste and food waste. And these three methodologies really come together to help provide an understanding of the environmental impacts for carbon, water and waste of hotels specifically. They can support hotels in a couple of different ways. So particularly for hotels, they can help to really measure progress year over year, to also benchmark progress. So Rehma will come in and talk a little bit more about the hotel benchmark from Cornell and also the hotel footprinting tool. But the other thing is really to provide transparent and comparable data to stakeholders. So these methodologies really allow you to make sure that what you're doing is providing or calculating metrics which are comparable to others. Everyone uses the same methodology, therefore, everyone is on the same footing. This particularly helps customers of the industry and for hotels when they're communicating to their customers, because it enables customers to calculate their business travel environmental footprints, but also to understand relative performance of hotels, because it enables them to take, say, a Hilton and compare it to a Marriott, or a property in India and compare it to another property in India, or, you know, various things like that. To really select preferred hotel partners, but also enable travellers to make informed decisions. The only way this works, though, is not just having those metrics and those methodologies, but having something to benchmark it against, having something to compare the data, because you can't take a 5-star property in Bangladesh, let's say, and compare it to a 2-star property in London. It's just not going to work. So that's very much where the Cornell Hotel Sustainability Benchmark and the Hotel Footprinting Tool can come in and support. So I just wanted to really, I guess, set the ground in terms of those methodologies. If you want to find out more, please do visit our website, or you can contact our information address, and I'll open up for questions at the end. So if you do have any questions about the methodologies, please do feel free to pipe up at that point. We'll be, as we go through, we will be open to questions. Please put them in the chat, and we'll come to them at the end. So at this point, I will now hand over to Rehma to give a bit more of an introduction to Greenview and talk about the Cornell Hotel Sustainability Benchmark.
All right. Yeah. Thank you, Claire, for the wonderful insights. Hello again, everyone. So as Claire mentioned, I'm gonna just off my video for a while just to make sure we have an uninterrupted session. So yeah, I'm here to build upon what's already been shared and dive deeper into our topic today. But before that, of course, we wanna just quickly share about Greenview, founded in 2008 with headquarters in Singapore and the US. We have been at the forefront of supporting hotel companies to design, implement, and monitor their corporate responsibility and sustainability platform. Our specialization lies in sustainability strategy, measurement, and reporting, specifically tailored for the hospitality and travel sector. We have also developed the Greenview portal, a single platform that hotels can use to manage their sustainability data efficiently and effectively. So here's that our expertise is not just theoretical, it's built on real-world experience from working directly with hotel clients and through collaborative industry-wide initiatives. One of our key contributions to the industry is the Green Lodging Trends Report. We call it GLTR, has become the leading global benchmarking study on sustainability best practices among hotels. It provides a comprehensive look at over 75 best practices, covering data from around 27,000 hotels across more than 600 geographies worldwide. So as I mentioned, before diving into deep, I want to quickly reiterate what Claire has shared on HCMI and CHSB. So I think this informative diagram able to show us how CHSB builds on HCMI. HCMI provides the foundation with common definitions, metrics, and a supporting tool to assess hotel stays carbon emissions. Building upon this, CHSB then aggregates this data to create benchmarks that are freely available to the public and aligns its data output with HCMI standards. This actually helps individual travel companies and governments by offering the Greenview Hotel Footprinting Tool, which is widely used for estimating the carbon footprint of hotel stays and meetings worldwide, and support travel companies in estimating and offsetting their customers' carbon emissions. Now on to about CHSB. The CHSB index created by Greenview in collaboration with Cornell University supported by an industry advisory group, is the hotel industry's benchmarking platform for sustainability, offering a comprehensive and cost-effective carbon calculation program and enabling meaningful comparisons across destinations. From its inception in 2010 to the upcoming cycle, the CHSB has undergone significant evolution, expanding its methodology, dataset, and impact. This slide here actually shows the success of the CHSB index itself. For CHSB 2024, we had over 27,000 hotels participating, covering over 1,000 geographies globally. Here's the list of CHSB 2024 participants. We have big brands of Accor, Hilton, brand participating, and then Marriott Oriental, Hyatt, Marriott, owners, Saya, Xenia, so a lot more companies that participated in CHSB 2024. Looking ahead, we aim to enhance CHSB through a platform approach, expanding analytics, offering more guidance, and improving segmentation. These enhancements will further empower hotels to benchmark their performance and contribute to global sustainability initiatives. There's the outlook and enhancements for future cycles. Our CHSB methodology spans from data collection, data harmonization, segmentation, validity testing to ensure the reliability and relevance of our benchmarks, the end product, the data output. We cover a wide range of data points from emissions, energy, water, and waste, by also providing intensity metrics. We have HCMI and HWMI aligned intensity metrics, as well as floor area occupancy and per room intensity metrics as part of the benchmark. We utilize a comprehensive set of benchmarking criteria and segment data geographically, which is by metro area, region, climate zone, country, and by industry standards, which is by asset class, SCR, chain scale, CDSR, hotel type, and location type, allowing for nuanced analysis and insight. This is a snapshot of the CHSB index that's available publicly, where anyone can go and download the tool and explore on how their hotel can be benchmarked against another location, as what Claire earlier said. You can compare one hotel from India, another hotel in India, or from another location, instead of just comparing within a portfolio or within a brand. And CHSB participants receive detailed benchmarking reports covering energy, emissions, and water, as well as HCMI output. Here's a snapshot of the energy section from the benchmark report, where you have the section outlining the usage intensity, and then benchmark, and then the benchmarking criteria and on how these benchmarks were generated. We also provide tutorial videos to participants to help understand and leverage these insights for performance improvement, as well as a rolled up report for portfolios in an Excel file. Benefits of CHSB. Participating in CHSB offers numerous benefits. Let's look at it one by one. Firstly, you'll be able to confidently benchmark the performance of your hotel or portfolio of hotels among peers within your market area and segment. Second, you will receive an accurate carbon footprint of each property uniformly, as mentioned before, calculations into HCMI. Then you can use the results from the validity test performed on the data set submitted to identify and address data integrity issues. Next, by contributing to industry benchmarks, CHSB ensures that participants receive the recognition So as you may already know, major industry leaders have supported CHSB for years. Finally, the ability to enhance your in-house performance evaluation model by incorporating comparative analysis and benchmarks beyond your own portfolio. Applications of CHSB. CHSB data finds applications across various stakeholders, from hotels benchmarking performances to businesses calculating Scope 3 emissions. Our diverse data users range from GHG reporting bodies to sustainable travel advisors. The Greenview Hotel footprinting tool, based on CHSB data, facilitates easy access to emission factors and supports the industry in making informed sustainability decisions. If you'd like to know more about it, Greenview Hotel footprinting tool, or would like to get access to the Hotel footprinting tool bulk dataset, please feel free to reach out to us, and we will assess for you the dataset. Here you can see a snapshot of companies already widely using the dataset. We have a wide range of companies already started using the bulk dataset, mainly to calculate their footprint, hotel footprint. Key findings. So I guess this is the heart of today's presentation. Key findings from CHSB 2024. So we have prepared a few snippets to share the depth and breadth of the CHSB dataset. As mentioned earlier, over 27,000 hotels contributed to CHSB 2024, where we collected 2022 calendar year data, utility data. Here's a snapshot of energy usage across global markets. So this is we have populated the median figure by market area, which shows energy usage per square meter for full service non-resort with off-site laundry. So this is a few randomly picked cities across global. And then here's a snapshot of market areas across Europe region, where we have the average at the regional level, and then the median at the market areas level of location within Europe. Similarly, a full service non-resort with off-site laundry. And then here's a snapshot of carbon usage, similarly across global market areas. Snapshot of few cities, where you can see some have reported low as compared to the other. Abu Dhabi 127 kg CO2e, and then the lower the side Toronto. You see carbon usage across Asian market areas. Median figures again reported by hotel carbon emissions per square meter for full service non-resort with off-site laundry. And water. So we had energy emissions, and now we're looking at water. Again, hotel water usage per occupied room. So for water, we generally report by per occupied room intensity, but we do have the intensity per square meter and per square foot in the industrial data. And generally, we do have by full service resort, full service non-resort, limited service, and few other segments as described earlier. But for the purpose of this presentation, we just handpicked few, and just to show the depth that you can go with the data set being submitted to CHSB, and how you can utilize this data for benchmarking and system purpose. And yes, water usage across North American market areas. Energy. So earlier we saw the trend at the global market level, and then a particular regional market areas. Now a more in depth at the country level instead of at the global or region, we can also segment the data at the country level and by a specific segment. So either as a class, hotel type, SCR segment, or CDSR. There's handpicked few, non-resort, non-resort for resort and non-resort for hotel type, upper upscale and luxury for SCR segment, and then 4-star and 5-star for CDSR. And then further at a granular level, we're also able to provide the usage in Paris, France, and then further dissected to provide at Paris level. And then similarly, the carbon emission median across different segments available in the data set. And for example, this is for Thailand, and we're also able to provide for Phuket carbon emissions per square meter. And this is for United States, water usage per occupied room across different segments, as well as Los Angeles in US, water usage per occupied room, dissected for different segments. Next is the year-over-year trend. As we have been collecting data for a few years now, and so we did a quick year-over-year analysis to see the trend. So here we try to output the percentage change from 2021 to 2022, as well as percentage change from 2019 to 2022. So this is the average change in energy per square meter and energy per occupied room for full service resort, full service non-resort, and limited service for 3 different geographical locations, which is Thailand, United States, and United Kingdom. Similar trends were also outputted for carbon per square meter, where we're able to see the trend by occupied room and per square meter across different geographies. And finally, for water, based on the same hotels from CHSB 2021, 2023, and CHSB 2024. And energy efficiency gap in Europe. Just want to quickly explain what is efficiency gap. It's actually the opportunity that exists across markets for hotels to reduce their utility use. So if you see in this chart, we try to actually show you the lower quartile, upper quartile, and then the efficiency gap. So how do we calculate efficiency gap? We basically use the ratio of upper quartile performance to lower quartile performance, where we basically divide upper quartile by the lower quartile density figure to output the efficiency, where we can see this is in Europe, where there is always a opportunity for improvement across market area, as well as across a specific segment at a country level. Similar efficiency gap has also been analyzed for water. This is for like market areas in the North America, where we provided the upper quartile, lower quartile, and the efficiency gap, where we can see there is always an opportunity for improvement across market area as well as across segments that you can obviously see in the data set. Next, so far we have seen about CHSB, and then the findings of CHSB 2024, the benefits of participating. Now, let's look at how to participate in CHSB 2025, where we will be collecting 2023 calendar year data. First of all, here's the timeline. The timeline from data collection to public index publication is designed to ensure thorough validity testing and meaningful benchmark report for all participants. So the data collection period starts from April. We will soon be launching data collection, and then the deadline is August 31st, 2024 for on-cycle submission, where your data will be part of the CHSB 2025 dataset. And you can expect the participant benchmark report by end of the year, and then by Q1 2025, we'll try to publish the public dataset. Participating in CHSB is straightforward, just 4 simple steps. By submitting your data and completing a simple sign-up process, you can gain access to benchmarking reports that offer deep insight into your performance related to peers and global standards. Today, we basically would like to invite all of you to join the latest CHSB index. Both branded and non-branded hotels are welcome and encouraged to join. So the very first step is email us the completed form to data@greenview.sg, where you can download the form at www.greenview.sg. Thank you for your time today. We encourage you to stay connected with Greenview for ongoing updates and insights into hotel sustainability, especially on all these calls for participation that we will be announcing soon on CHSB as well as Green Lodging Trends Report, GLTR. Stay tuned with us. Sign up for our newsletter, follow us on LinkedIn so that you can always get our latest updates and stay up to date with all our industry initiatives. Thank you, everyone. Okay. I'm going to stop share and I'm going to on. Okay.
Thank you, Rehma. And thank you for everyone for bearing with the audio in that was thank you. So we've had a couple of questions come in on the quick Q&A piece. So I'll start with the first one that came in, which is around the plans, if any, in regards to the expansion into Scope 3 emissions beyond current laundry emissions. Yeah, this is something that we are currently reviewing as part of the updates to HCMI for this year. So we're looking at improving what we've got on outsourced laundry, but also thinking about F&B, OS&E, and then employee commuting. We're currently piecing together work groups within the industry to start to dive into that, look at crowdsourcing data and seeing how we can incorporate that into either into HCMI itself or possibly into the just creating some additional guidance and coefficients for people to be able to use in their own reporting. For their company reporting rather than reporting to customers. One thing that we want to do with HCMI itself is to make sure that it remains something that's accessible for everyone to be able to use. And we're conscious of Scope 3 being something that takes a lot of time and effort to calculate. So we want to try and kind of maintain that balance, but it's definitely important to us that we start to look much more at Scope 3 and providing guidance to the industry on that. There's another question here about do you collect monthly or exclusively yearly data? So I don't know if Rehma, if you want to respond on that one.
Sorry, data submission, is it?
Yeah, so do you collect monthly or just yearly data?
Best would be monthly data, but we understand that at times there are challenges in getting monthly data. So if we are not able to get us monthly data, we do accept quarterly or annual data, but the best would be monthly data, of course.
Brilliant, thanks, Rehma. And then another question that's come in is about when the stars are selected in the tool, is it automatically the Expedia stars or is it something else? I think this is in relation to the hotel footprinting tool when you're selecting the star rating and that.
Yes, currently it is based on Expedia stars.
Brilliant, thank you. I'm just checking the chat to see if there are any questions in there. I can't see any others that have come in. Oh, yeah, there's another one. So are 2020 to 2022 intensities normalized for occupancy variations to enable comparison with 2019 figures?
CHSB data, though we collect data, we did collect for 2021 calendar data, 2022 calendar data, but at some point we do make sure there's like certain threshold is met when we output by energy or water or emission per occupied room. So we don't do any normalization, but we make sure there is data for all 12 months, or the hotel is at least in operation for 9 or 10 months based on its nature of business, whether it's a seasonal or non-seasonal resort or non-resort. And then based on that, you also look at the occupancy rate, and the calculation is done on that basis.
Yeah. And I think just to add to that as well, when we're talking about HCMI, over the past few years, we've had some guidance come out in relation to the fact that the occupancy rates were so obviously dramatically different during COVID. And we've been recommending that you, rather than comparing to the previous year, you compare to the last kind of year that makes sense from a business point of view, because it had such a huge impact on those metrics because of the low occupancy rates. Hopefully in most places we're kind of coming out of that now, and we're going to be able to start comparing to the most recent years, but I know some locations are still only just really kind of recovering.
And that's the main reason why we try to provide both intensity per occupied room as well as per square meter. So by any time, when we think that, okay, occupancy may not be as good as, due to COVID or other impact, we can always compare based on the per square meter intensity that we have on file or in the data set.
Brilliant. Any other questions? I can't see any others that have come in. Oh, I've just seen, so someone said, not clear on the difference of the reporting Greenview provides in their tool to how to get my benchmark data. So I think in terms of the benchmark data, it's just getting the, you can gain access to the CHSB report, which you then be able to kind of filter and see see what the different benchmarks are for your particular location, and star rating. You can use the HCMI tool and HWMI tools to get your own metrics to compare against them. But then, Rehma, perhaps if you want to share a bit more about the what you get as kind of the additional piece for taking part in CHSB.
So basically, as you participate, yes, we use your data to prepare the index tool, the publicly available tool, as well as then the hotel footprint tool, where you'll be able to calculate your footprint and everything. But at the same time, CHSB participants will receive a bespoke hotel benchmark report, where we actually set up a peer group to compare your hotel with a peer hotels within a market area or globally to benchmark your property based on certain metrics. For example, we may compare your hotel from a market area with hotels from the same market area, same asset class, or same SCR segment, or even same hotel type. Or if market area data is not available, we will then try to benchmark against the global data set. But we'll make sure we do a similar, we try to group by similar segments so that the benchmark, when we compare, we are comparing apples to apple comparison. So, whatever features that your hotel have segmented by STR segment, asset class, or stars, then we do compare with similar hotels from market area or globally.
Yeah. So Nicola's come back and said about she wants to benchmark against similar hotels in my market. So yeah, I think you can do that either by participating, or you would be able to do the same thing by using the data that's in the CHSB report to be able to compare that. Then we had another question. Sorry, I'm just flicking between the Q&A and the chat because they're coming into both places. So don't want to make sure I don't miss any. So back on the point about the star ratings within the hotel footprinting tool, just saying that it might not be mentioned within CHSB where the star ratings come from, which could lead to some users to think that stars are related to official rankings, such as in the EU. So it might just be worth having that clarified on the tool itself, that that's what star ratings it refers to.
We'll make sure we add that this time, yeah.
And then we've had a question about the monthly versus annual data, just in terms of the benefits of submitting monthly data rather than annual data.
So when you submit monthly data, we'll have 12 months of data for a particular energy or water type that you submit. But when you submit an annual figure, then it is just one final figure. So the benefit is more towards the validity test that we perform on the data set to identify any data integrity issues and validating that data in terms of, because at some point when you provide data on a monthly level, you'll be able to figure out any data integrity issues. Too high, too low within the data set, some sort of like data input error, all those will be able to identify if data provided in a 12-month time frame. But if, let's say, it's just one annual figure, it's kind of hard to actually do a comparison to identify if there's any issue. And even it's going to be hard for you to go back to the source to identify if this figure is actually correct as compared to monthly figures, because you're going to get it from a utility bill, or you have some sort of reference that you can go back to.
Brilliant, thank you. Okay, I don't think we have any other questions at the moment. I'm just going to leave it a minute just in case anyone wants to pop one in. But hopefully that's provided some useful insights in terms of what CHSB is all about, what HCMI is all about as well, and some thoughts about what the findings are. Rehma, in terms of the CHSB sort of final report, can you just remind when that will be coming out roughly, and where it will be accessible?
So yes, we are currently in the midst of finalizing. In the next few weeks, we'll definitely get that to the Cornell team to edit, for editing purpose, and then for the publication work. So likely by May, you can expect the latest CHSB 2024 report and tool. And we'll, as I mentioned, please keep in touch with Greenview, either by subscribing to our newsletter or following us in LinkedIn, so that, when we launch this, all of you get the information, where to go, where to get the latest data set.
Brilliant, thank you. And yeah, likewise, I think from our point of view, as I mentioned, we're going to be updating the Hotel Carbon Measurement Initiative over the course of this year and next. So if you're interested in participating in that in any way, please feel free to get in touch, and I'll just pop our page up there. Likewise, we also have a newsletter that you can subscribe to on our website, and you can find us on LinkedIn as well, if you want to follow and keep up to date with all of the stuff that's coming out from the Alliance as well. Thank you very much for joining us today, everyone. It's been great to have you here. If you have any other questions that come to mind afterwards, then please do feel free to reach out. Otherwise, thank you, Rehma, for joining us and sharing a bit more about CHSB. And yes, thank you everyone for joining.